This is KGW News at noon.
Our top story this noon, we have an update on the lawsuit the city of Portland is facing involving homeless camps and tents blocking sidewalks. It looks like that lawsuit may not go to court. Hello, I'm Christine Pitawanich. You may remember a group of people with disabilities are the ones suing the city. And as Blair Best reports, it's still not exactly clear what city leaders are willing to do to address the issue.
In early September, 10 Portlanders with mobility disabilities sued the city over homeless tents blocking the sidewalks.
I want the city to fix Portland, get the homeless people off the sidewalks.
They argue the city is in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Federal Rehabilitation Act.
Sometimes it takes 10 to make a difference.
This is Pauline Long, one of the Portlanders suing the city. She uses a motorized chair to get around.
They don't seem to give room. Like I said, several months ago, all we need is about that much room. Give us space to get by.
She often has to go in the road to avoid tents blocking the sidewalk.
And I don't like it. It's terrifying.
She and the others represented in this case are asking the federal court for 3 things, including mandating the city clear the tents and debris off the sidewalks. The city responded by requesting that the county, state, and metro also be included in the lawsuit. Meanwhile, the attorneys representing the Oregonians with disabilities found that the county's Joint Office of Homeless Services gave 6,550 tents and 27,000 tarps to the homeless last year. Now, many of those tents and tarps are blocking ADA access on the sidewalks.
Waste of money, because they're not solving anything. It's a round circle.
According to court documents obtained by KGW, last week the city attorney's office asked for an 85-day extension before filing an initial appearance in this case. They say they need this time because they're currently working on a resolution. Now, the city and the Oregonians represented in this case have agreed to mediation, meaning they won't be taking this to court. Settlement meetings have already been scheduled between now and January.
Why does it take a lawsuit to get them to do something? Shouldn't they have already done it?
Blair Best, KGW News.
And cities all over Oregon are dealing with homelessness. More than 24 mayors laid out their plan to address the statewide homeless crisis around this time yesterday. The group, which includes Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, is asking the state legislature for almost $124 million a year and wants to create a partnership between the state and every city in Oregon to pay for a fix. The group pitched 2 budget proposals. The first would give money directly to all 241 cities in Oregon. About $40 per resident with $50,000 guaranteed regardless of population size. Cities could use the money for their own homelessness response or redirect it to community partners. The second proposal would give money to shelters and affordable housing.
We can't do this alone. We need the state's help in order to be able to implement what we feel is the kind of programming at the level that we need it, at the scale that we need it. And it could absolutely help us fund key elements of those proposals, including food for people who are on the streets, outreach workers, infrastructure, basically resources that we need to get the program up and running.
The mayors sent a letter to the legislature and all 3 candidates for governor detailing their request. They plan to present the proposals to lawmakers next year. And the midterm elections are exactly 1 week away, and things are getting heated for the fight for Commissioner Joanne Hardesty's seat. Her challenger, Renee Gonzalez, just sent her a cease and desist letter over a campaign brochure. The mailer suggests Gonzalez violated campaign finance rules by getting discounted rent on his campaign office downtown. You may remember, though, last week, a judge threw out that fine, and the Portland City Auditor's Office agreed, saying there was no violation of campaign finance rules. The mailer also suggests Gonzalez surrounds himself with Republican consultants, whose clients also include Senator Ted Cruz and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Gonzalez says that's not true. His campaign responded by sending the Hardesty team the cease and desist letter, something Hardesty called a campaign stunt.
I think voters will see this for what it is. It's a distraction. And I'm just going to keep talking to voters because there's only 8 more days to get those ballots in.
So our consultants took one look at the mailer and said this is patently false in a number of ways, and that it doesn't feel like they're playing by the same set of rules that we are in terms of honesty in mailers.
Gonzalez says he believes the mailer may be connected to the vandalism at his downtown campaign office over the weekend. He says someone used a rock to shatter a glass door and window. Police say they're investigating. Meanwhile, the Senate race in Washington state is also heating up, and a recent poll from our sister station in Seattle shows abortion and inflation are 2 of the most important issues there for voters. We spoke to Republican candidate for U.S. Senator Tiffany Smiley while she was out on the campaign trail yesterday. In terms of inflation, Smiley says she would permanently extend the tax cuts for the middle class and is against President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. Smiley is also against a nationwide abortion ban and believes it should be left up to voters to decide.
What I will do is ensure that women, especially at a time of crisis, have every resource that they need, that they know should they choose to keep their child, that it's not a ticket to poverty, it's not a ticket to a lack of education or their shot at the American dream. That's what I'm fighting for.
Smiley is going up against Democratic incumbent Patty Murray, who backed the Inflation Reduction Act and believes abortion should be legal nationwide. If Murray wins, this will be her 6th term serving as a U.S. Senator for Washington state. And with Election Day just a week away, you can get the very latest information from our online election guide. It's got everything from breakdowns of local races to ballot measures. Just text the word election to the number on your screen. That's 503-226-5088, and we'll text you back with a link to the election guide. Okay, let's talk weather now. Rod, it has been rainy, and
yes,
it feels like fall, finally.
It's the first day I had a meeting to go to this morning. I didn't have a jacket on. I was like, it's cold out here. So yeah, it's November. Hey, we're starting to open up some sun breaks from our Cannon Beach live camera at the coast, and this could be a sign of what's coming to Portland in terms of opening up some sun this afternoon. So far, the clouds continue to be overcast, but we haven't had much rain since the early light rain started to fade away in the 8 o'clock hour this morning. Here's what radar currently shows. Notice a heavy shower scattered offshore, not much inland, but we think the showers will be picking up this afternoon. And if we open up sun breaks, Futurecast could be correct. Right about 3 o'clock, we'd see some heavy showers with potential hail and rumbles of thunder. It's interesting that this weather model has liked 3 o'clock for a heavy shower passing I-5 for about the last 6 hours. We'll see if that comes true about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We're only at 49. Temperature is going to be fairly steady, 50 at 4 p.m. Or if we're underneath a heavy shower at 4 o'clock, it could be all the way down about 45, rain cooled, and then we'll stay in the 40s with some heavy showers still out there this evening. Mountain snow, new stuff, and we'll talk about the travel forecast for the Cascade Passes coming up in just a bit.